friends. I think we are live. Welcome to April's random card party. So we started basically last month, but I did have a video a while ago, like 2 years ago, where we did a random card challenge. It's basically just like rolling the dice and seeing what out of your stash to use. This was the very first one. It came out okay. I never would have put all of this together. And so it was fun to do that. And last month we rolled this card as well as, let me check real quick. Okay. I have no idea. It's giving me a warning and I don't really know what the warning means. So, but we're gonna keep going and hope it works out. Sorry. Okay. So this was the one from last month, and here is the card I just finished not too long ago. I did film everything I finished off screen, so I'll put a video on that and it'll be a quick 5 minutes and you can kind of see. It is different. It was definitely not the colors I would have chose. Let me switch to, oops, today. I'll go back here. Sorry. I'll switch off this in just a second. Not the colors I would have chosen, not anything I would have put together, but it came out fun. I'm okay with it. we we will see if we can make something even better today, or we could completely fail. Now, the rules for following along. I would love y'all to take this random card challenge and try it with me. The main things are it's to have fun. You need to be okay with failing because point A, last month's card was a little rough. I think I pulled through, and I would be willing to give this to someone I knew was just going to immediately throw it away. But that's something to know about this challenge. You may not create the most beautiful thing you've ever created. It's more just to get your creative juices flowing and start using things in new ways. And then the last rule is try something new. Also, bonus, if you create something using the April challenge, share it on Instagram and link me so I can see it. I don't actually post on Instagram. I just tend to go on there and share memes with my family. But I do go on there, so if you tag me, I'll see it, and I'd love to see everything y'all create. And maybe I could figure out how to show it on next month's challenge. Also, like and subscribe, and let me know below how hard this challenge was this month, if it was easy or hard. Now, the next thing we're going to do is we are going to roll everything. And I've kind of already done it. I did it last night. So the first thing we rolled is the color palette. And I ended up rolling 289, but it was so late at night that I grabbed the wrong one. So we're going with this one. It was still random to me. Then we're going to do a focal image and a background. So the focal image, we're going to use a stamp. And let's see what it rolls for the stamp. Now that's just my system that I use to organize everything. So this is going to be the focal image we're going to use. Just use whatever is closest to that. So some kind of background or landscape image. And we're going to use Distress Oxides. Then we're moving to the background. And on the background, we're going to use a stencil. Oh my gosh. Let's see what stencil we get. Also, this is just like my numbering system, but this helps make it completely random, easy to find stuff. So there we go. And the background media that we're going to use is the Crafter's Companion Duet ink. So basically 2 hybrid inks, which we learned on Sundays. call is very similar. So here is the card we got. I know I'm far away, but I wanted to kind of show you all the different stuff. So if you needed to kind of think about it a little bit more, on the left we have the background. So we're going, if you can get some kind of radiating stencil or just in some way use a radiating thing, some hybrid ink pads. On the left, we're going to use, for the focal image, some of these landscape stamps and some distress inks. Now, the ink pads are very similar, so if you don't have, one, just use whatever's closest. Same for the stamps, stencils, everything. Just do what you've got that's closest. So, okay, now you may be thinking, Lisa, you've had all day, because I did this late last night, to think about this and have a plan on what you're going to make. And that sounds great in theory, completely did not happen. So we are going to go on this wild ride together. I did pick out the colors that I had that were closest. So that's kind of where we are. I felt like with the distress ink, I had all the colors. So I have the lumberjack plaid, saltwater taffy, antique linen, prized ribbon, and chipped sapphire. And they kind of go pretty well. Then the midnight mist, the raspberry ripple, and rosy apple are pretty close here. So those are the main media that we want to be using. Again, this is going to be on the background, and this is going to be foreground. So let's start thinking about the foreground. I think that's probably where I want to start. And I love this stamp set. I was super excited to get it because I'm working on a design for a embroidery project. It's kind of, I was really inspired by this stamp set. So I was excited, and then I got to thinking about it, and I don't know how well this is going to work with this color scheme. It's an interesting color scheme. I don't know how well it matches, but we are going to try it. Okay. Give me 2 seconds. I saw this really cool technique I wanted to try at some point, and today might just be the day. Of course, the moment I try and find what I need is the moment everything mysteriously disappears. I don't know if anybody else has ever had that happen. Okay. Well, the method I wanted to try was kind of like the smushing technique, which is one of my favorite techniques, but it's a little bit more controlled. But I don't think I have the right stuff for that, so we'll go more watercolory. Okay, I think the first thing we want to do is kind of build the background. So I think it makes sense. Oh, thanks, Sky. I'm so glad. I liked the color combo too. I'm excited but a little bit nervous about the color combo mixed with this stamp set. I think I want to kind of make a misty mountain kind of scene, which is really what these stamps, and this is a Hero Arts stamp set, and it's the ink painting scene. So if you're interested in what exactly I'm using here, let's move that out of the way. I'm kind of thinking in the background, this antique linen, moving forward. Well, we need to use these in the background. I guess we can cut this paper down as needed. So let's just focus on the foreground image. We'll go from the antique linen, and then I think moving forward, let's go prize ribbon, chip sapphire to kind of bring us into the foreground, and then we'll use these stamps, oh, we'll use these with the stamps. So we'll have red roofs to go with our background, and those will hopefully pop, kind of inspiring from the blue background with the popping red pink fish. Okay, so first things first, let's kind of just wet our watercolor paper. Maybe I went a little overboard, who knows. Also, I did get a brand new overhead camera, so if I'm too close or too far, just let me know. Hi, Starling. I'm glad you came and visited. Okay, so let's grab some of this antique linen and start smudging it in. There we go. And we're just going to pop it onto the background here. Let me grab this. I love this for filming. This tiny little amount of water is easy, and I worry less about popping it everywhere. So we're just going to get some of that antique linen down in the background. And I do want it very painterly, because that's very much the feel that stamp set has to me. So let's kind of go there. Okay. Add a little bit more, just to get some of that in. Okay. Starting there, we're making it. Then next step, clean off that brush a little bit and grab our prize ribbon. And I want to really water this down, because as much as I love that color, we don't want it quite so intense. So let's add a little bit more water here where we're going to put this down and pick up some of that blue ink. So I guess, is there anybody want to share what they are working on right now? Any fun artistic projects they're doing? Okay. I'm excited to be doing this one. I do have a painting or a picture that I'm creating, kind of an enchanted forest picture that I'm excited. I just got a frame for it today, so I'm hoping I can finish that this weekend or next week and get that hung up in my house. Let's see, grab a little bit more. I think a little bit deeper, and maybe kind of, there we go. Let's put a little bit more here, and maybe we can grab some of these mountains. Let's grab these two bad boys. And grab a little bit of this prize ribbon. There we go. And let's go ahead and stamp this down while it's wet. That way it will wick out a bit, but that's okay. Kind of, oh, kind of wicks out the wrong way, huh? Okay. Let's get a little bit of water and kind of pull that out. Maybe we've made some horrible mistake, but we'll keep going. Okay. So, learning experience here. I'm going to go the other way. We're going to start down and pull this way. Let's have it go more starting down, pulling up, and you can kind of pull this out. Get some of that color wicking away. Okay, and maybe we can grab another mountain. About this one. Okay. Let's go here and kind of drag that out. Oh, clay sculptures, you're working on that? That's so fun. You'll have to send me pictures. I'm excited to see. I've never been very good at sculpting, but I always think it's the coolest thing. Oh, I am so silly. We should be using some of these mountains that aren't filled in, and they'll make it look further away. So I'm going to do a little bit more water on this to kind of pull it back, and then clear water, clean it off, clear, to kind of pull it back to really get these to fade into the background. And let's put some of these mountains. They'll be a little bit more in your face. We can pull them a little bit. Ooh, I like that. Okay. That looks really cool. I'm a fan of that. Okay. We have one more kind of like that. So maybe I have another little stamp block. Yeah. It's not a rocker block, but we can do this. Okay. We'll still kind of rock it and get it to pull back. We'll just pull that down. Now, probably could go kind of like that. Well, we don't need to find every single thing, but maybe what we'll do is we'll take that and then we'll pull this off right here, and it'll look hopefully different enough. Okay, we'll tilt it a slightly different angle, and there we go. If we kind of rub that quickly, hopefully we can rub that away a little bit and pull it down. Okay, there we go. Okay, I think we could do something. I think that's good. I think I messed up though with these mountains. But what we could do, actually, thinking about it, I have an idea. Okay. I'm going to pull up all the extra water. You need to do that sometimes. Let's put this back down. Now, let's pull down a little bit more, and we'll get this deeper. So let's kind of go with this mountain. Just kind of make it extend the mountain. So then it doesn't look like these are just kind of weird mountains off in the or, just tiny, weird, bumpy mountains. We kind of bridge them and make them larger. Okay. Let's see. This might take a layer or two. That's okay. That is okay. Get some more of that color. Kind of. There we go. Pull it back up. Okay. And then this is going to be too watery. Let's go pretty direct. I'm not going to add any additional water, and I'm just going to kind of direct the lines here. So this looks like, hopefully, a bigger mountain than we stamped down. And I'm really trying to define like one side. I think that'll help. Oh, thanks, darling. I'm glad you're liking it. I hope you're doing something creative. Okay, and then we're gonna do that. Okay, that actually kind of worked. So let's pull up just a little bit of this so we get a little bit of kind of the light coming in, and that'll hopefully help some of the darkness. Okay, so that looks good. Now we've got to, I think we've kind of fixed these mountains, but I do still need to get these two over here because they are looking a little rough. And let's kind of go here and drag that darker color down, and I'm going to slightly adjust the look of that mountain so that it kind of looks different than this mountain, which is an exact duplicate. Here we go. And we're just going to let that fade off. There we go. Okay. I think that kind of worked. And we can kind of add a little bit more here. Just gonna pick up this and add a little bit more. Actually, these colors so far are looking okay. Let's grab a little bit of water. I'm going to pounce it off and pick up more of a dry brush and kind of make this mountain look a bit bigger too, because it really needs it. Maybe less of the swooshing lines and more aggressive lines. Maybe that would help. Okay. There we go. Starting to get somewhere. And maybe if we go direct, kind of direct that line there. We might have to come back with a little bit of colored pencils over this, but actually I'm thinking that painterly look is coming along. It's better than I thought it was going to be. I'm going to be honest. I was really nervous. But I'm glad we went with the blue as opposed to the red for the mountains, because I thought about doing that, but I think the blue looks really good. So we're going in now with the Chip Sapphire. Oh no. This one's almost dead. Oh, that's upsetting. Okay. Well, we will see what we can do. Now, first I want to get it, might be too wet because we just don't got a lot here. Kind of add some of that color in, and we'll go here. And we're going kind of light to dark, which, oh, I'm worried about this. Do I have, let me check and see if I have Chipped Sapphire oxide spray, because we might have to use that. No, I don't. Ooh, okay, because this was the very closest I could get to this color. Okay, I'm gonna be bad and pull out our Chipped Sapphire Distress ink, because we just need a little bit more, and we'll kind of fudge and use both. But that's good to know that I need some more of that oxide ink pad. Yeah, but that's helping. Okay. We'll kind of bring that color. Oh, I love that color gradient that's coming. Yes, Guy. It is actually good color palette for Misty Mountains. I was not thinking it was going to be, but it's definitely better than I had expected. Okay. So let's get some of this, and I'm just going to put as much of this as I can get out on, and we'll just kind of mix it a little bit. Okay. Now, maybe what we need to do is grab a mountain, and I'm thinking let's start again with these mountains. And actually, we have this really cool waterfall. So maybe let's think about the waterfall being around here, but we'll want to do that kind of last. So maybe I'll pick up some of the water there. Okay. Let's try and keep kind of that area, but I do want some mountains. So maybe if we kind of think about this, and I know you're saying, Lisa, we're doing mountains. Why are you doing this upside down? I want to kind of hide the fact that we only are using so many of these colors and stamps and stuff. So we'll do that. Oops, getting a bit there, getting a bit excited. Okay, let's calm down just a little bit. Clean off our brush, more dry brush, and let's pull it down. Pull it down. Okay. Then let's grab this other one, and we'll do two of these kind of close together, and maybe that'll hide some of what we're doing. Okay. Grab that one. Okay. Let's see. Sorry, somebody texted me. I had to say thank you real quick. And just a tiny bit of water, and we're going to pull these out. And we won't do too much because we kind of want it, the ones where we didn't do too much look a lot better than the one where we aggressively tried to fix it. So let's start there. And then maybe like maybe a mountain here. Okay. Rocket. And maybe we'll just cut some of the bottom off so it's not quite so tall. There we go. Tiny bit of water. Brush it off. Pull this down. Okay. Ooh, I think that's looking good. Now you may be a little nervous, but I think once we start putting in the darker mountains down here, it'll hopefully all kind of pull together. It's my hope. Okay, I think we're done with these mountains. So let me put them back real quick. And there we go. Now we are kind of working in the background. So maybe we could use this kind of sun in the background in some kind of way. So let's think about that as we continue. We definitely want this mountain again. Do I have any others? I have one other mountain. Let me grab it. Let me switch this mountain over here. This little baby mountain that we haven't used right here. So I'm gonna grab this and let's do this mountain right here. These are going to be the foreground mountains, so the closest mountains to us. Let me grab some of this really dark color. And we want it rather than flowy. Now, I know it will naturally flow out, but we want kind of more rigid lines to show that it is in more of the foreground. So the water will naturally kind of pull it out and we will get kind of that misty effect. But we want to, with our paintbrush, add in some nice heavier lines. Okay. I think that looks pretty good. If we kind of hold that, and so maybe let's start thinking about our foreground images. We've got that. No. I think we just need we could kind of put this little town on this mountain we've created. Then maybe this like kind of monastery place over here. We could almost do it so it's like behind the mountain, popping out from over the mountain. That's an option. And we've got some of these trees, which we can definitely stamp kind of in the foreground with our dark. Okay. Okay. So I think what we may need to do is have maybe like that. And maybe a mountain here-ish. Okay, there we go. Let's pull these guys aside and wrap up the mountain portion. And I think we won't need a background kind of in addition to this, so we're gonna work on adding those in. Oh, Lisa, you're not paying attention. Okay, let me get that and kind of, there we go. Well, that's still wet. Let me pull it down. And we'll have just the tiniest bit of separation. And I can kind of add that back in. Clean the brush off just a little bit. Just a tiny bit of water on the brush. And pull that through. There we go. That'll give us just the idea. And as it dries, we can add some darkness there. Feel like starting to sing that Hello Darkness song. But I will not do that because I'm not the best singer. Yeah, I guess that's where we're doing it because I already dropped it on there. Similarly, we're going to pick up some of this dark color. And put it in. Tiny bit of water. And I think we just need a little bit more of the direct color. This is a great and very fun stamp set. I wish when it had come out, more people had used it and shown how to use it because I don't know. I was very intimidated by it, and I don't think I've done like one, maybe two cards with it, and very simple stuff because I was a little nervous. But it's actually a very awesome stamp set that makes you look like a professional watercolorist without much effort. Okay, there we go. And let's add in a little bit more darkness into some of these areas. A little bit more definition. Just because I think it really needs that. Okay. I think we're done. And of course just wasted all of that. All of that ink right there. It's okay. I don't like doing that, but I think it was worth it. Okay. Now, while we're here and waiting for this bottom to dry, which of course we could heat dry, but since part of our thing is that we have to use this stencil and some of these Duet ink pads in the background, I'm thinking we use this Raspberry Ripple and kind of just very gently put in a little bit into the background. So let's grab us a quote-unquote clean little one of these guys. Let me clean it real quick. I just use every color with these and clean it between each use. I did not want to spend $1 zillion on getting one of these for every color. So here we go. I'm just gonna very, very gently kind of, okay, this is very dirty. Let me, well, there we go. We just kind of come in here with quote unquote clean water. Let me grab some clean water. Okay, put that on and I'll pull it off in just a second. And while we're doing that, apparently I don't clean these brushes well enough. So rather than do that and mess everything up, let me pull that back. Let me just wipe all this water off again. Clean our station up a little bit. But what we do need to do before we move on, let me grab a little bit of more clean water and put some of that yellow back in the sky. Because we definitely don't want to leave it with a blue spot like we've got it. So let's just grab a tiny bit of antique linen and pull that back in. Okay. There we go. Maybe a little bit more. Hide our boo-boo. And we'll put the sun back over there once it's kind of dried. And kind of cross hatch just a little bit. Okay. We'll call that good for the moment. Let me heat dry this. Thanks, Sky. Just part of the art process, but it's looking awesome. I appreciate that. The paper is just about soaked, so I'm going to heat dry it a little bit. So let us move on to the next item. There we go. Hopefully it'll continue to look good. The heat drying does kind of stop all the movement, so you only want to do this when you've gotten to the painterly look that you're going for. There we go. Okie dokie, hokey pokey. Awesome. Not too bad. I think, though, what we'll do is I have these little Jane Davenport brushes, and that's what we'll use to start to put in our sun. And now I could have definitely done a lot of different things with this stencil, but just with everything else we rolled, I thought just kind of focusing on the sun here really went with our overall picture. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna switch it up a little bit and we'll get a few more rays in here, add a little darkness and depth. Kind pull that out. Just very lightly putting it in. Here we go. Kind of a pink sun. Oh, I think that's cute. Let me pull this ray right here out just a tiny bit. There we go. Okay, actually, I think we kind of recovered it. I think we'll be okay, and we might put a cloud or two in the sky, and we can kind of hide additional things. So that's in the background. I'm gonna count that. I think for the clouds we could go with, and they look like this. We could go with a dark blue, but I'm actually kind of feeling like maybe the red. I don't know. Let's stamp some of this other stuff, but let me put these mountains back, and then we can use our stamp pads again. Okay, so we've got that. The next step, I think, is going to be to stamp this waterfall. Let's use this one. And this one really should be in the blue. I think we said around here, right? Okay. So let's use this chip sapphire again. I know it's the ink, but I really want this to stamp well. Now this is the point where if you are worried, you should use a stamping platform. And I'm a little worried. Yeah, let's do that. Let's not ruin this beautiful picture that we've already done so much for, and grab the stamping platform, which is kind of big and bulky, but it will make this all much nicer. Okay, give me 2 seconds to move everything out of the way, and we're going to do as much of this on camera as I can, but the height between here and there is not much. Okay, so let's swing open the door, maybe. Okay. Whew. There we go. Now I'm going to put this down and just put it here. Hopefully it'll stick and not move. It does not want to stick, but okay, we will use some washi tape and force it to stick and not move. I'm not above using washi tape. Okay. I'm not sure if I need to clean this. That might be what it is. Okay. Well, good to know. Let's grab the washi here, and we'll pick up this little guy. That way we can perfectly portion him right there. Grab it, and oops, sorry. I'm going to use our chip sapphire ink. This way we can get a perfect stamping the first, second, or third time. Okay. And Ooh, I like that. And then I can kind of just create a lake right there, draw it in. So I don't think we need to stamp that again. I think it's good enough for me to move on. The next step, though, I do want to pull out this lumberjack plaid. And I'm thinking we do our little houses kind of right along. We could do them there, or we could do them up here and maybe have this guy over here on top of this mountain. I'm thinking this one. I'm thinking this way. Okay. Let's grab these. And while we're at it, what I think I'll do, because I think I have the lumberjack plaid distress glaze. I do really love these distress glazes. I was not thinking I would like them, and then I used it and it's amazing. So we're gonna put some of the distress glaze over right there, and I'll be ready with the distress glaze as soon as we get these. So we're using the lumberjack plaid distress oxide, and since it's distress oxide, it should theoretically sit on top and kind of hide what's underneath. So here we go. Get that stuck down. Ooh, I think I'm gonna do one more stamp using these. And get that nice, really well covered. Now, these do dry relatively fast. So I'm gonna go ahead and, before I do anything else, pour the glaze on top, because theoretically this should work, but they do kind of go fast. And I'm gonna be sure to avoid that waterfall, because I think it will stick to the waterfall and I don't want it to. There we go. Wow. That looks amazing. And I think once we heat it up, we can come in with some clear water and really make those houses pop. So first things first, let's clean this up. Let's clean up our workstation real quick. I apologize. But when we're live, if I can't work with everything everywhere, just give me 2 seconds and then I'll heat that and we will be on our merry way. Okay. And I think the red was the right choice to be the pop of color because it really does pop. Here we go. Doo-doo-doo. Put our stamps in so we don't lose them, and I think I have all the stamps back. And our stamp platform back where it needs to go. What we do need to do is, using a dry brush, come in and grab just a tiny bit of red that did stick, because we don't want it getting where we don't want it. So glue it off a little bit, and then hopefully we can come in, pull the last of that away. Okay, I'm going to heat dry that, or heat emboss it. And I can't quite get close enough to show you, but it's really quick, so. Ooh. Okay, well, that was a little disappointing. Let me show you what happened. It got a lot darker. Interesting. Okay. Well, I guess it is what it is. Let's take our little brush. We'll give it just a second to cool down. And I'm going to grab just a little bit of this ink. I'm painting over where these houses are, kind of the parts of the houses we would see. I'm going to let it sit for just a second, and then I'll pull it up with my paper towel, or in this case, cloth. Theoretically, it should bleach out some of that color. Maybe I need to let it sit just a little bit longer, because I'm thinking if we can bleach out some of that color, we can put some red back in, kind of over top, and make it pop just a little bit more than it is at this moment. So maybe one more time. Okay. It's working, just slowly. I'll let it sit, and I'll tell you guys about the upcoming streams. So today we have done the random card challenge. I hope you guys try it. Here is all the random things we drew. So if you want to try this and see if you can make a cute card, the next stream we're going to do some more mixed media art journaling. I'm going to do some watercolor over the ink we did last month, and then some point, either Saturday or sometime next week, I'm going to do another Enchanted Forest page, and hopefully that'll wrap that up and we can frame it and put it up. So those are what's upcoming. I'm very excited about those. I'm not too sure what more to do on this card. I'm at the maybe need to step away for a moment, to think about it before ruining it. Because I'm thinking what really needs to happen is we need some clouds, and I'm thinking maybe kind of a pink antique linen hybrid between the clouds. And then what we also need is some bushes. Maybe we could do that. Maybe we could stamp some bushes. Oh, that's so cute. Okay. So it would definitely be darker under here because the sun's kind of coming there. So we'll add a bit more darkness there, and then these can add some of the red there. And definitely back here. Okay. I think that's okay. I might come in with just a little bit of colored pencil. Clean that up just a little bit. But for now, for first pass, I think it's okay. But I kind of always think more needs to be done, so sometimes I don't know when to stop. But we'll do just a tiny bit more, and then I will log off and I'll show you guys the final version here soon. If I do anything major off camera, I will film it and share that with everybody. But I doubt this card will need anything major. And it might be cute in an art journal. This is the first one that I've been actually kind of proud of. It's looking pretty good. I'm going to grab this Chip Sapphire and grab some of these trees. Let's put them right here. I think that looks nice. Grab a few more, put them there. And maybe some trees over there. Hopefully I'm not messing anything up. We've got a few more tree options, so let's grab them. Let's grab them. Okay, here we go. Let me grab this one. We'll put this huge one next to this guy. Maybe that's why he's up here on the top by this huge old tree. And then maybe this tiny little tree will give us a little bit perspective, kind of. You know what? Let's definitely do that, but let's do that with the other color. But I can put it and kind of fill out some of this and make it look not so much like I did the same stamp over and over again. There we go. Definitely need a tree or two kind of over here. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know if this is helping or hurting or what, but we're gonna keep doing it for just another minute or two. Okay. Let's grab this big boy tree. And maybe you can go there. Yeah, this kind of blends in. Let's put these over this side so I don't mess anything up. And maybe another one right there. Here we go. Just building in some shrubbery. Okay. Maybe we need to add this one in. Kind of right there. And one little tree or two. Okay. Kind of a forest down there. Do we need to add any shrubbery kind of over here? I'm afraid of doing that. Messing everything up. Okay. Yeah, I think what we'll do is we will call it quits for right now. I'm going to think about this and think about how to finish this off, which I really think is just coloring pencils a little bit, just kind of finishing up, adding a little bit of here, so this is more of a focal point, and then adding those clouds. And then really all that's left is maybe putting a sentiment on it if I want to keep it as a card, or maybe I'll just frame this because it turned out super cute. I hope you guys have a very crafty day. Thank you so much for everybody who joined me live. Thank you everybody who joined me on replay. Again, anything that you do, make sure to tag me on Instagram so I can see it. I would love to see it. And I hope y'all have an amazing